Salutare, sunt Mihai Daniel, bun venit pe canalul Consultanță Cripto, bine v-am regăsit pe toți cei abonați ai acestui canal, bun venit celor noi. Astăzi am un interviu special cu Wiser Hunter, va fi în limba engleză, mare parte din comunitate înțelegeți și va fi despre proiectul Hoge. Wiser or Hunter, very nice to meet you. Welcome to my channel, welcome to the Romanian stage of crypto.
Thank you very much. It's very good to be here. Yes, I am Wiser, also known as Hunter in the crypto communities. I go by Wiser, real name is Hunter. And I am a business development lead for Hoge. And it's very nice to be here. Yeah, obviously there's so much happening with crypto in Romania. So it's very, very exciting to get to speak on a platform like this.
Okay, so let's start with the beginning. Can you tell to the Romanian people something about Hoge? What it is Hoge? What is Hoge doing? When you started? What are the plans? Things like that.
Yeah, so Hoge started, it's been around for a little while. Hoge started February 7th. And since then, it originally started with 2 developers. And since then, the community has actually taken over the token because the community believed that the developers maybe didn't have the best long-term goals for the project. And they realized that this is an amazing project, good tokenomics with a lot of potential, a very strong community. So now it is a completely community-driven token. We have about 65,000 holders just in the decentralized part, not including our centralized exchanges. And these holders, we really offer them the opportunity to come forward, bring their skills to the community and see what they can do to grow with Hoge. So we are just an extremely passionate, driven, and really fun community where pretty much everyone gets a say and everyone can bring their skills and values to the table.
Nice. So can you tell to the people what is Hoge doing? What kind of project it is? How people can use the Hoge? I mean, not only the gamblers, the people they buy today and sell tomorrow. I mean, the people that can be attracted about this kind of technology.
Yeah, so we're doing a whole lot right now. And that's, like I was saying, that's one of the beauties of being community driven is at any given time, we're working on whatever the community brings to the table and wants to work on. For example, we just introduced, we're starting a lobbying campaign. We're working with a group called the DeFi Angels, and we're working to bring lobbyists into Washington, D.C. To begin fighting on behalf of the DeFi space, for whether it's about U.S. regulation, and making sure that we're well represented there. We have everything from space programs happening right now. We're working on creating our own Hoge space program. We're also working on a whole lot of things along the lines of we're doing it's called Hoge University, which is where we're trying to educate people about crypto, about Hoge, about the DeFi space. And so there's on top of that, we're fundraising right now for a top 5 exchange, which I think will absolutely help us tremendously. So yeah, there's a million things going on, and all of which we welcome anyone to come to the table and join us in these projects. Yeah, so definitely all exciting stuff.
So it is a community and people are welcome to join this project. And when did you create the token? When was the launch date?
So I was actually not the creator of the token. Like I was saying, it was created by 2 devs.
When it was created?
But it was created February 7th.
So, and what was the value then?
And the value when I think it was originally created was I think like $50,000 in market cap. And after that, we grew all the way up to $400 million in market cap on the crazy run. Back in the days when it was sort of Hoge and a couple others that were going on these massive climbs. And since then we've aligned more down. We've aligned a little bit more down. So now I think we have a market cap of, I believe it was 58 million right now. So it just goes to show the potential that is out there right now. If from 58 million to 400 million, we clearly showed what our potential is and how much more than that we can continue to climb, especially if we're looking for some of these things like the top 5 exchanges and things like that. So definitely a whole lot of room to grow.
Do you think that the top 5 exchanges will be around maybe in a few years? Because the decentralized ones are growing very fast.
Yes, the decentralized ones are going extremely fast. However, there's one thing that definitely a lot of people don't quite realize is that one of the values of being centralized is you have a whole lot of funding. They have a whole lot of funding. They have a strong space, and they're very organized. So they're very good at making sure that whatever is happening, they're moving towards it. So you're already starting to see some of these centralized exchanges have their foot in the decentralized space, where they're now talking about creating liquidity pools that you can actually farm on inside of their centralized exchange. So I definitely think that there's not going to be a world in which you don't have the big centralized exchanges, where you don't have the Binance, the Coinbase, the KuCoin, the Kraken. There's not, but there is very much so a pattern of this massive growth of these decentralized swaps, which also one of the things very exciting is we're currently on the Hoge Everywhere campaign, where we're expanding out and bridging out to multiple other chains. So we started on Ethereum. Now you can find us on the Binance Smart Chain. You can find us on PancakeSwap. Fairly soon you'll be able to find us on Matic. So yeah, it's wherever the trend is going to be going towards, we're going to be there.
But what is the target of the project?
The target of the project, in its most simple form, is to empower a community. It is empowering a community, whether it is financially, whether it is allowing them to have the say over the project, and whether it is simply bringing out the best of all of our community members. This is a community project. So again, we're working on 100 different projects. So it's difficult to say that there's one that we're working towards. Instead, our aim is to empower our community and the DeFi space as a whole.
I understand. And what are the most important projects right now?
The most important projects right now out there, that is really difficult. Are you talking about in terms of tokens, or our most important projects?
Hoge.
Hoge, yeah, again, very difficult. There we have so many projects going on, but the ones I'm most excited about are the lobbying campaigns, because there's a lot happening in the US right now in terms of their regulations.
So there is any other crypto company doing lobby right now in the US? I mean, well, that's what's really Coinbase and
that's what's interesting. Again, this gets back to the centralized. They're very organized and they have funding, so they are already there. But the DeFi space is absolutely massive.
They are not representing the community. They are representing their own interest.
Exactly.
So when you have a DeFi project going to the lobby, that is for the public.
Yes, we're not even, we're going there to try and represent the entire DeFi community and make sure, because that's what we noticed. We said there's no one representing the DeFi community in a strong way, especially in terms of regulation, especially in the US. And so we decided that if no one else is going to do it, we should be doing it. So we're working with the DeFi Angels, and we're beginning lobbying out in Washington, D.C.
Is it any plans to expand that, like to go to other countries like Europe, like Asia, to do the same, lobby, making people in the political to understand what is the DeFi doing? And
absolutely. And that is going to be an expansion upon this. So yeah, that is absolutely something that we are planning on moving towards.
That is nice.
Yeah.
And what are your expectations about the Hoge for the, let's say, next 1 or 2, 3 years? And also, I will have additional question. Do you see any real impact if we are going to get in a bear market?
Yeah, so those are both very good questions. And I'll start with the bear market. The bear market question is very interesting, because we've seen what happens in bear markets, and we saw, and it's tough to say if it was a bear market, but after the news about China banning the mining of Bitcoin, we saw a significant decline across crypto. And so immediately at Hoge, we got together and we said, hell, how do we make sure that we're shielded from this? How do we make sure that we are providing enough value to where we can decouple ourselves from the value of Bitcoin? That's traditionally what causes a bear market, is the value of Bitcoin. So what we've been doing is we've been working towards exactly that. And that's what we've been talking about in the AMA we had earlier today, is trying to create significant value with our core principles, which is community empowerment, create enough significant value to where we can be decoupled from the price of Bitcoin. And so that's exactly what we're trying to do, is to shield ourselves from any potential bear market and make ourselves not just an amazing community, but also a safe investment. I mean, it still has the potential to grow massively.
How fast is the Hoge community growing?
Hoge community, it's a little bit difficult to say because it's sometimes you go off of the Twitter numbers, sometimes you go off of the Telegram numbers. But I can say our, for example, Twitter and Reddit recently have been seeing tremendous growth, especially as we've combined a lot of community outreach, the Hoge Everywhere campaign, especially in the past, I think 17 days, I think we've been having record numbers of growth significantly. Well, not record compared to the very, very early days, but very significant growth. I think for 17 days straight now, ever since we began several community outreach programs. So we're definitely excited to see it to continue to grow.
And I have a question, because I told you before the interview that Romanian people are, most of them, gamblers, so they don't care about the project. If you, for example, if you are pitching now the people, they are buying the tokens, what would you tell them?
First off, I think just like we were talking about, and one of the things we said is, we're talking like, oh, I wonder how many X's this project can do. Just right now, we've shown what our potential is. We've shown what our potential is in terms of the market cap and in terms of price. And right now, it's about a 6X. And that was back in before we had, hardly anything that we have now that's being set up, now that's being actually executed on, and now that our teams are organized. So I think that for starters, getting back to our all-time high, which from right now is a 6X return. So that obviously for the gamblers, that's obviously something that's very, very important, because that clearly shows what our potential is. And I think it's so much more than that, especially as we start to uncover some of these upcoming projects and some of these really big movements, and start getting more integrations with the different, technologies in the real world, and start getting more into this NFT space like we're doing. So the potential for it is absolutely massive. But more than that, like I said, we're aiming to make it a safe investment as well, to where we can decouple ourselves from the price of Bitcoin and just grow on our own. So that's, yeah, I mean, it's in terms of investment, I hold several different tokens. There is none that I'm more excited about than Hoge. That is why I am putting in all my time. Essentially, almost all of the devs at Hoge are volunteers, simply because we believe in the project so much. I've been paid nothing, and it's something that I think clearly shows the potential. It's because everyone who really knows Hoge knows where it's going, knows what its future is, and knows what the price can be. And so most of us are willing to work for nothing, because we simply we hold Hoge and are excited for it.
In Romania, there is a huge part of the new investors that are young people. Do you think that they can get engaged with the project, with Hoge?
Absolutely. I know that already right now, 2 of our core team members are Romanian. And I know you've spoken at length with one of them. It's absolutely, first off, the Romanian investor community is amazing. We have lots of them in Hoge already, and they're very engaged, very intelligent. So especially anyone that comes forward and they say, hey, here's what my skill is, here's what I want to do. We even have people that come in every day and they say, here's what I would like to do in crypto. How do we make that happen? The whole reason we got into lobbying is because we simply had one community member who said, hey, I'm a lobbyist, I don't know what to do with that. And we said, we know exactly what to do with that. We need representation in the DeFi space. So come in, and let's start working together and making DeFi space better for everyone. Let's do it together.
I mean, most of the people, they don't understand the DeFi concept, and they don't imagine how big this will grow in the future years. It's huge.
It has so much potential, especially I think there's a very strong chance it's going to be very disruptive to centralized banking. I think eventually people's banks are going to start being much, much, much more integrated into DeFi, especially because my bank right now may give me 1% return a year. And if I keep that in a stable liquidity pool, now we're talking, okay, maybe 15% return a year. So
exactly.
So I think it has a lot of potential and a lot of power, and it's only going to continue to grow. And we're really excited to be here right at the center of it.
And do you have any special events this year for the Hoge?
We have a special event every week. No, we are going to be holding AMAs every Friday and every Monday, to make sure the community is updated as possible. We're going to be holding many regular events like AMAs and virtual meetups. We're holding gaming tournaments. for everyone to get involved. So yeah, definitely come into the Telegram, come into our Discord, check it out. Make sure that you're come to one or two of our AMAs and definitely see what's happening. There's a million different things to join and get involved with in Hoge.
That sounds nice. Anyway, I will leave all the details below this clip, this podcast, the link to Twitter, Discord, the official channel, so people will have access easily. And for example, if people have questions, who they can speak with?
If people have questions, they can actually reach out to me directly. My email, which is shared between a couple of people on the business development team, my email is business@hoge.finance. You can also email if you have any marketing questions, marketing@hoge.finance. Either that, or you can actually find us. You can find almost all the devs and important members and everything. You can find almost all of us in Telegram or Discord. Simply just look for our titles there. Like I said, I'm Wiser in Telegram and Discord, so should be pretty easy to find.
Okay, that's nice. Because there is also scammers. So sometimes people, they cannot make the difference between the real people and the fake people.
Yeah. That's definitely something to always be careful for, always watch out for.
Because, a lot of centralized projects like Binance, or I don't know, when you have an issue with the support, sometimes you can wait weeks, which is not nice.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why maybe I will leave your email address or Telegram, as you prefer, in the description of the video. I'm sure a lot of people will get in touch. And also, there is people, they don't know much. They don't know about Pancake. They don't know about MetaMask, about things. What is the simplest way to buy Hoge?
The simplest way to buy Hoge, if you are buying it from one of the centralized exchanges right now, Gate.io has fiat on-ramp and allows pretty much everyone in the world to go in and buy Hoge. And if you're buying it from the decentralized space, fairly simple, have MetaMask and have ETH or BNB. If you have ETH or BNB on whether it's Binance or whether it's Ethereum, then simply go into Uniswap or PancakeSwap, depending on which blockchain you prefer, and purchase Hoge. You can find all these details on how to buy at hogefinance.com. Simply go to hogefinance.com. Very, very simple step-by-step how to buy section.
Okay, that is very nice. If you have anything else to add on this very nice podcast, feel free.
Nothing else to add other than thank you so much for having us on. We're definitely really excited to be here. And for everyone listening, everyone here at Hoge, we're really excited to be working with you in the future and having you as a part of our community.
Thank you so much, Wiser. It was a pleasure to have you with me. Mulțumesc tuturor pentru acest clip. Vom avea toate datele, linkurile și adresele oficiale ale proiectului în descrierea acestui clip. Vă doresc o zi minunată. All the best. Take care.